once we find that we want to stitch, because I don't know about you, but for me, stitching and needlework at this time of the year here in the northern hemisphere, which is cold, and even though we're in the south in like Istria, but still there's winter, there's snow and everything. And if I feel like stitching and I don't have a concrete project that I want to work on, then I'm sure you have seen these before, like a wooden bobbin if you have one, or any round thing from kitchen towels or whatever, or a stick, a nice twig from the woods. You clean it up and you can use it for this. And I just want to go through this, and I will then later on show you how I do these. So basically I'm cutting or tearing down a piece of calico or fine cotton. Basically any material is good. It's good when it's soft, not too thick, not too heavy quality. And so you go like step by step. Put your pieces, put your stitches. And this is so much fun. And this is how far I got until now. And from here on, I have the same length that I show you. Again, because this seam here in the middle is the middle of this strip. And then you might ask yourself, well, what can we do with this then? I mean, you can use it. You can leave it like this and just have a look at like a sampler to see in your stash what kind of fabrics do you have, what cloth is there for you available, what kind of stitches, like the seeding stitch here. This is rubber stamps from the art channel making. I have so many stamps. I will also sit down one of these days and stamp on calico in order to have more motifs and more prints if you so wish. And you can use these in your projects. You can also like just cut a piece off in the middle and then it stops here, and the rest you wrap around also, or from the beginning. You can also start from the beginning. Let me just roll this back on. I'm sitting here by the fire with you. Isn't this lovely? I enjoy so much having you guys keeping me such beautiful company. Really, really nice. So anyway, any piece could be trimmed off, and then you just run down some stitches so nothing comes loose. Or you could, if you know how to make your clothing, this could also be like a sleeve for, let me pull this front to show you what I mean, on your denim jacket, wherever. And just because you cut a piece off, it doesn't come loose. Just stitch it back down. These stitches and the stitching we're doing, the slow stitching, the machine stitching also, the embroidery is powerful. It seems like something weak and soft, which it is, but at the same time, now try to get all this loose again. No chance. It's strong. It holds forever. And how do I do this? Well, here next to me, next to my feet, I have the scraps. There's scraps and crumbs. This is scraps. Let me see. This is more scraps. Stuff like this. That's more scraps. And then we have crumbs. As you know, the very, very tiny bits. Let me see what else I find. Very tiny bits are more like crumbs. And to make the wooden bobbin, I search for the crumbs, and if I don't find, then I make them by just taking a piece and snipping off a bit. That's easy, isn't it? Just joking, you know how to do that. So, and then I dive here in my material, and I have this which is all chaotic, all loose in a big box, but I have also, I hope there's not too much sheen on it now, a little bit more sorted material. This is all fabrics and a little bitty organization regarding color scheme. There's some more, I'll show you them all. So what I did, I took these IKEA zip bags, which you can open and close a million times, they're really good. And I put one cardstock, not a very strong one, of middle, this is maybe 180 GSM cardboard, so from the back is nothing, and in the front I have scraps. And this one doesn't follow any order in color, it's just a little bit of everything. So this is how I organize my fabrics. I have the box with the scraps, and I have some bigger pieces. They are mostly ironed and very smooth. I have them like that. Here is spare ones which I prepared, because we will never stop hoarding, will we? And this one, you get the idea. And then I have also a couple of drawers full of fabrics which are much bigger than the ones I just showed you, and these I roll them up and I put them up standing up next to each other. I put some photos here for you to see. And then the last category of the scraps or of the fabrics and cloths that I have is in other drawers, which are pieces that are really, really big. So, and once I'm done, coming back to the bobbin now, once I'm done, here I'm deep diving in the smaller pieces. Then I just put them out here on the lid, on this lid of my beloved embroidery floss basket. And since this is rough and yeah, like rough surface, the pieces, they hold quite good, quite nice. So I put them here. The background noises you might hear, I don't know, is the fire burning while I'm sitting here in my world, in my creative snug. So everything around me vanishes. So, so I put them out here, and when the tray is full, tray is like, it's the lid. When it's full, and I put them all visible. I don't put them now one over the other, like slightly here is no problem. But I want to see. I want to see what I have. And I make a light, nice mosaic out of the pieces. There's a little bell on the bottom of the lid. That's why. This and this. And now I see what I have. See? It's not flying around. I can move it. I can put it from here over there. And it sticks more or less. And it always reminds me of a quilter's wall. You know, the professional quilters, they have like a big wall, one of the walls in their studio most of the time, with like a special kind of fabrics on top, which are with a rough surface also, where they can stick their parts, their quilt pieces. They can stick it on the wall to see and to design their quilts. And this is here the same principle, so it's quite nice to have like that. And so I can go from here. I put this now next to me on the table. I will have a cup of tea. I have the animals around here sleeping. It's so peaceful. The snow is gone by now. It's a sunny day, but it's still cold. And I'm in the now. I'm in the now, and all of you who are doing the same, doing the art channels or the embroidery or the knitting or quilting, all of you know what I'm talking about, being in the now. You cannot be more in the moment than when you dive in your passion here. And that's what I want you to, well, to motivate you and to invite you and to recommend to you and to really, really ask you, start now. Don't wait any longer. Start now. So, I will now, oops, look for some embroidery floss for the pieces I just shown you. The hoop today we don't need him, and then I will sit down here and keep going. With this precious little thing here. I just love it so much. Make one too, come on. Make one, let's go. And grow. And make a bobbin like this. It's so cool. I have so much joy, so much fun. I hope I can transport this to you wherever you are. Sweet darlings, so I go on switching, I go on stitching, and maybe I switch on camera a bit later on. Mwah. So needle is threaded, and I decided for the red piece to continue my bobbin roll. Here is some machine stitching which I tried, and I just wanted to say 2 or 3 more things. Here I do not go all the way to the edge at the moment, because then when the next piece of fabric is going there, then I have the possibility to tuck it underneath here, like, if I can get it done like so, and have the fringes here on top of the next piece, and then I can still go and stitch down here if I find that this is too loose, but it's not a problem really. And what I will now do first, I will distribute plain pieces like the squares and rectangles, maybe this one bigger piece, like so, because then I create like a foundation to later on stitch, do like decorative embroidery stitches like fly stitch or running stitches or seed stitches or fly stitches, whatever we have. But then I can also do some applique on here, which would not be nice to, if I put this now on the naked, on the empty piece, I put this on, then I have difficulties. I will always cover up the applique. So this is what I did here also. This piece comes very last. This stamp I did very last. First the plain pieces and the decorative pieces like this embroidery, these little roses, last. And then very last the stitches, because in the beginning I just did the stitches like here, maybe you can see these fine leaves here, and then I covered them up with this and with this. Here is some fly stitch, and all of this part up here is now got covered up, and here I stitched the design that the fabric already had printed on, like so. So make sure you put like plain pieces first, then do your appliques, then do your little bitty details, and then your stitches last. Okay, I keep on stitching and I love it.